He's toured with Darius Rucker, Willie Nelson, Zac Brown Band, and other stars. And now Drew Holcomb is bringing his band to town. Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors will be performing tonight at Michigan Theater in Ann Arbor. And ahead of the show, Drew is chatting with us. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Great. It's great to have you back on the show again. Now, you released your latest album, Strangers No More, this year. What's the vibe of the songs on this album?
You know, it's been a really fun record to tour. It's got a lot of big songs, a lot of sort of, got a song called Find Your People on there that's went #1 on Americana radio, and then a song called Dance with Everybody, which is really where the album title came from. It's a song I wrote about the audience, coming out of the pandemic. Yeah. Really missing being on stage, and getting that back brought a lot of joy to the band in a hard time. And it's just a record about friendship and passage of time and getting older. And it's been a really fun record to tour. It's got a lot of energy on it.
That's awesome. Now, your band has been around for nearly 2 decades, so you've made a lot of music. Now, when it comes to playing concerts, do you prefer to play your newer songs, or are your older favorites or what you always keep in rotation?
Well, I think the band always prefers to play the new songs just because they're fresh and they're challenging, and they're still kind of finding their live, versions. But I'm also of the opinion that artists should play the songs that people want to hear. So we definitely play a lot of our old songs, the classic songs that people expect, mixed in with the new songs as well.
Okay, very nice. Now, your passion for music goes beyond your band. You even founded a music festival, which is really cool to me. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I started this music festival in my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee, and then we moved it to Chattanooga across the state. But it's been crazy. What it started out as just what I thought would be kind of a family reunion of our fans and other bands that we've met on the road has turned into this annual, 12,000 person festival on the river with multiple stages and sponsors and all sorts of stuff that I didn't know what I was getting into. But it's been a lot of fun, and it's sold out about 8 of the 10 years. So it's been a really cool part of our story.
That's cool. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, aside from being a musician, you're also a husband and a dad. What's your secret to this balancing act?
It's hard. We're on the road sometimes for a couple of weeks at a time, but we also take long chunks of time home. And so when I'm home, I just have to be really intentional about spending a lot of one-on-one time with my kids. But they're also at an age where they can come on the road with me every now and then. The school lets them leave for maybe like a long weekend and hop on the bus with me. And I've done that a couple of times this tour with my kids. So, it's just about being intentional and, making sure you take time off as well as working really hard. So, but it's not, nobody's perfect at it. We certainly are not, but we do try to, we've somehow made it work for the last 11 years.
That's awesome.
Since I had my first kid.
Yeah, well, now you've also recently announced that you're going on tour with your wife, Ellie. Tell us about this project and the special meaning of it.
Yeah, so my wife was in our band for about 6 years when we first got started. And then once we started having kids, simultaneously, she was starting to write her own music. And so we encouraged her to kind of get out on her own and go home. She wanted to get off the road from doing so much touring with the kids. Was not super easy. So then we went another 7 years without playing any shows together. So about 3 years ago, we started doing an acoustic tour every February with just the two of us, playing a bunch of our songs, her songs, my songs, the band songs. And we've been putting out our own music together as well. So we're working on some new songs for that tour. But that's something that's become kind of an annual tradition, and we take the kids out on that entire tour.
Now, that's what I call a cool family tradition. That is cool. That is so cool. Drew, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for taking your time as well. I appreciate being on.
Anytime. You can see Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors perform tonight at Michigan Theater in Ann Arbor, and they will be taking the stage before The Head and the Heart.